So I've noticed there's not a lot of videos showing how to do the front brakes on the Suzuki Burgman. This is a 400cc 2007. Anyway, first thing you're going to want to do is come up top for your front cylinder brake, right hand side. You're going to take off this cap, 2 screws. Keep it about flat. You want a nice angle. Use a syringe or, honestly, a large syringe to take out some of the fluid. So when you compress the brakes, it's not going to push too much out. And this way you get new fresh fluid. I've already got this side undone, but I want to give you all a basic rundown of what has to happen. You're going to use a 5mm to go ahead and crack these free right now. It's a lot easier to do when it's still attached. So go ahead and get these guys loose. Next, you are going to need a 14mm. Extension helps. You don't have to have it. I just wanted to. Get these loosened. And once you get that done, you can do the rest by hand or keep using the ratchet. That's up to you. Support that so it doesn't fall. You don't want all the weight on the line. Sorry, filming this by myself. So once you get that done, this is going to swing out. So now that you have it free, bear with me still, just one hand. Where did the socket go? I apologize. Make sure you get these taken all the way out, right here and right here. It's been so much easier if my assistant was available today. I apologize on how long this is taking one-handed. Bear with me though, please. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and get that other one out. Okay, sorry that took so long. So once you remove these 2 guide pins, you can flip the caliper over and see the brake pad is free. This piece right here is used for retaining the top part of the inside pad. And then you can just literally slide this out. Other pad's almost available. There it is. Unfortunately, I dropped it. Okay, so these are the new pads right here. These are the old pads. Still not too bad. Make sure you check and get the right pads. Once you get this loose, you can spray some cleaner in there if you really want to. That's up to you. Next step would be to compress your cylinder right there, the piston. And when you compress that, it pushes the brake fluid back up, and that's why we took some out. So once you've got that done, you're ready to reassemble. And bear with me real quick, one-handed. I like to go ahead and put this piece back on. It's not necessary, but this is just the way that it works for me. So as you can see, these line back up right here and right here. Personally, I really highly recommend greasing them so it can move a little better when you let go of the brake. We'll get that pushed all the way in. Give yourself room to put your brake pads in. And if your new pads did not have these shims on it, you're going to want to take that off of the old one to put on here. So this pad goes first. And I don't know if you can see that, but there is a, oh, come on, focus, apologies. This sits down in here, right on where the guide pin holes are. So, next step is going to be, I highly recommend getting your guide pin and go ahead and put one of those in. Now, I don't know how well you can see it. Ooh, I am so sorry. Apologies. Y'all did not need to see that. Okay, so you see our guide pin right there on the bottom. I'm trying to get this to focus. Kind of have to push the pad down and push the pin through at the same time. But as you can see, it's holding that in place. So we'll go ahead and grab our second pin. Same thing. If you push this brake pad down just a smidge, it helps to get that through. Once again, not necessary. You can fight it if you want to. So everything's lined up on your first inner pad. And you're going to get the one that has the hook on it. Proper pad would probably help. Line this one up on the front first, and then you can get it in there. you're going to hear it click when it got down into the area that has the retainer pin. So this kind of takes two hands, so bear with me, I apologize. Push this secondary pin in and through. You're going to kind of have to push down the brake pad. It's not very difficult, but lining this up is very important. Or you're just going to spend some time just pushing on these, trying to figure out why they're not going in. Once again, 5mm Allen. I highly recommend you get one that has the socket set up. It's way easier. Go ahead and tighten these up. So we're going to tighten these up. I don't actually have the torque spec, but burgman has it online. So, as said, we'll get these tightened right here. Does not have to be 100% tight. You can tighten it up in a minute, no big deal. Now, everything is in. Your cylinder's been compressed. And you can literally just go ahead and put that bad boy back on just like that. Honestly, hardest part of this whole project, besides lining everything back up, is getting that first bolt started back. And there we go. Okay, so that's one. Get your second one in there. I have no idea where my assistant is today. This is killing me. Appreciate everybody's patience here. This is a really, really simple brake change. I mean, if you look over that old school right there, that was way more difficult. And there was only one of them. So, go ahead, getting these tightened back down. So we'll get our ratchet. Once again, I don't have the torque specs, but bare minimum, just get it pretty snug. I get the first one kind of tight, go back down to the bottom, get that tight, snug it up real nice, not too hard. Go up to the top one, snug that up as well. And we're going to switch back over to our 5mm Allen when I can figure out what I did with it. This guy right here. Doesn't really matter which brand you use, but having it set up on a 3/8 drive just makes life very simple. So, I'll get this bad boy hooked up. All right. I'm sorry that's happened twice now, but give that a nice snug. And this one right here, a nice snug. Now, you don't really have to. I wanted to clean my guide pins because this is the first time I've done the brakes on it, and it seemed to be a really good idea to go ahead and get that done. Now, what we're going to do now, extremely important, as said, I use the syringe over here to get this old fluid out. We're going to go ahead and get some of this in here, fill it up to the top. Or maybe just a smidge under. Be careful, don't get this on your paint. Brake fluid and paint really don't mix too well. And your next piece is going to be the other insert you took out earlier. Now, I did overfill this, so I'm going to have to take some out. I'll be right. Okay, took a little bit out. We don't want too much. Pop that bad boy back in. Make sure it seats real nice, and this area is clean right here. Mine could have probably been a little bit cleaner, but I didn't know I was going to record this video today. Put your cap back on, preferably the same direction you started with. You have two little screws here, 1 and 2. And usually, in my experience, unless they've been changed, it's just a Phillips head, very basic, nothing special. Until you lose said basic Phillips head screwdriver. We'll just use this piece right now. We just want to get this tightened down. Relatively firm seal. That is not going to work. I'm sorry, I'm wasting y'all's time right now. Okay, no clue where I put that screwdriver, so we'll just use another implement. If you don't have something like this little piece here in your toolkit, I highly suggest getting one. You never really think you're going to need something specialty until you do. I had a time getting this one out originally. and actually ended up having to use this little tool here. Allow me to put more pressure and not strip the bolt, screw, what have you. Okay, there we go. Pretty snug. Pretty snug. So now we're going to get you to pump this handle right here. There's going to be no pressure whatsoever. And just keep pumping until you feel pressure. Very important. Do not go riding without doing this. I'm starting to get some pressure. It's got some good spring back to it. Now, next step is you're going to want to check your level and make sure you got the right amount, which my camera is messing up. But if you need to add more, go ahead and add more. After that, should be ready to go. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.